Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rochelle, the Real Life Carnivore. I am a carnivore for nearly 2 years now and a mother of a wonderful little baby boy who is a blessing thanks to carnivore. I am a Christian. I am a wife. I am a mom, obviously. And I also do this YouTube stuff just for fun. It's just something that I feel was missing from the YouTube university and felt that it might add some value to all of you just to learn from other people what they've experienced on carnivore, what type of lifestyle they were living previous to carnivore, and how carnivore has changed their lives. Before we dive into today's special guest, I just want to share a little bit about my postpartum journey and something that has been really helpful for me. Pregnancy, giving birth and breastfeeding take a lot from a woman's body, and it can kind of leave you feeling tired. It can leave you feeling depleted. It can leave you feeling all kinds of things except for normal. And a few things that I experienced with postpartum was some issues with histamine. I had postpartum hives all over my body. I don't know why, but I just all of a sudden had all of these hives all over my body within a couple of hours of giving birth. The most helpful supplement that I found was DAO. You can see here, I was using and I'm still using this Ancestral Blend supplement. So it is grass-fed bovine kidney. This helped so much because the itchiness was insane for me. Another thing that I found really helpful postpartum, encapsulated placenta. Now, I did not encapsulate my own placenta, but I did order this one because I've heard that it's really helpful for recovering postpartum, recovering your hormones and other things. So this includes placenta and it includes liver. And liver was something that I craved extremely postpartum. Obviously, in my opinion, liver and organ meats are all like nature's vitamin. The last thing, and it was more because it was weird that I wanted to try it, is beef brain. I thought because postpartum, you probably heard moms be like, oh, I have baby brain. Oh, I have pregnancy brain. Well, I am using this because I want to see if it helps with baby brain, with pregnancy brain. This also includes a liver supplement, but I will keep you guys posted. I'm really excited about these. If you guys want to check out ancestral supplements, and highly recommend, very good quality control on these and worth the money, I think. So definitely make sure you guys check those out. Now, without further ado, I'm really excited to introduce today's special guest, so let's dive in. And without further ado, I'm so excited to introduce you to Miss Karen Miles. She is a carnivore wife, mother, and grandmother, and I'm really excited to have her here to share her story and what she has found on carnivore. So please join me in welcoming Miss Karen to the show. Welcome to the show, Miss Karen. How are you doing today?
Thank you. And the fans go, ah. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. I appreciate that. I am, like you said, a mother, a grandmother, a retired PE teacher. I retired a year ago. Drop a give me 10. Let's go. um, I've enjoyed retirement life. My husband and I did some traveling this past year. I did substitute 1 or 2 days a week at school, and I really like that a lot. I like that a lot. So why am I on your channel? I'm a carnivore. I've been carnivore for 4.5 years. Before that, I did low carb for 2 years and 3 months. And I really like that low carb. I got off my blood pressure pills. I got off my cholesterol pills, and I got off my CPAP machine. Those were three big things I rid my life of. Big, big things. But I still would eat some junk here and there and things I shouldn't be eating. And it was one Thanksgiving where we had dad and a son from Japan staying with us. So I bought all these extra things thinking they'll help us eat it. It's Thanksgiving, people around, they'll eat it. And I bought something called panettone bread. You know about that? It's an
No, what
Italian
is that?
bread that comes in a box. It's real, it's an Italian delight that you can usually find Christmas time. So I bought it thinking they'll help eat it. Well, guess who ate a lot of it? Me. I ate the next few days. I ate it for breakfast, snack, whatever. and doing low carb, you can't eat that bread. You know? So it inflamed me. I was a mess. My ankle hurt. My ankle hurt for a few weeks. So I've been listening to Dr. Barry, and he's been saying, oh, carnivore, carnivore. I listened to him because of low carb, but he's talking about carnivore. I'm like, who eats just meat? Who does that? Well, now I'm one of them. So I started that, and he mentioned Kelly Hogan. I looked up Kelly Hogan. I love my friend Kelly Hogan.
Shout
We're
out Kelly
pals,
Hogan.
bosom buddies. Yeah. So so I looked up Kelly Hogan. I'm like, wow, I love this lady's energy and what she had to say. She didn't have a my zeroing in on health or my zero carb life YouTube channel at that time. She had Instagram, so I followed her on that. And I'd have to go on other people's channels to find her YouTube. I fell in love with her. She didn't know me, but I fell in love with her. So I started it right away. And that bad ankle that hurt for 3 weeks felt better in 3 days. 3 days better. I mean, better. Thank you, Lord. It was amazingly healed. So I'm like, well, if that helps, let's see what else could help. And low carb helped a lot. It did. Mentioned the things I got off, and I still had some body aches and pains and stuff. Well, that carnivore helped my pain immensely. I'd toss and turn at night because my back would hurt, my hips would hurt, my shoulders would hurt. It was better on low carb. But now that we're on carnivore, woo, 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 it is through the roof better. Amazing. Really good. So I'm very active. I play pickleball, maybe 3 to 4 days in the summertime. I snowshoe in the wintertime. That's my other pickleball and snowshoeing in the winter. I bike a lot, sometimes year round. If it's a nice winter day, I'll go on bike rides. I kayak. I have a club called the Yak Yak Sisters. And every Wednesday, you'll find us on the Hennepin Canal in Rock Falls. So if you're hearing this and you're nearby, hit me up. I'll let you go kayaking with me. I have a second kayak. So, yeah. So I like to be active. Pickleball, kayaking, biking, walking, hiking. There's one house away. I live on a hill. My backyard, I got the river in my backyard. And my neighbor's got a really nice grade. Mine's a little steep to go up and down. I've been up and down it, but it's a little too steep. But my neighbor's got a nice grade. So I walk up and down there and I make believe I'm hiking. You mentioned my grandkids. I say, let's go hiking. It's my grandkids. So we'll go up and down there. There's some big, big rocks, and we'll do push-ups on them and tricep dips and step on them, jump off. And so I like to move with my grandkids as well.
Oh my gosh. I absolutely love this. So many places that we are connecting here. So, first of all, Kelly Hogan, amazing. Love her. She's the reason why I was convinced to go carnivore because of her story of overcoming infertility. When Dr. Ken Berry interviewed her, I was like, you mean people can get pregnant with this way of eating? Because I had tried vegetarianism, I had tried veganism. Neither of those things work. They actually made things worse. Most people don't like hearing that, but for me, it made things worse.
Yeah.
So when I heard her story, I was like, I'm all in.
Mm.
Like I need to try this because in vitro was not an option. Nobody just has $40,000 just randomly kicking around to do some
You
potential.
don't? You don't?
No,
Oh,
no.
wow.
Nobody has that kind of cash just kicking around to try something that may or may not work. Changing your way of eating is the simplest and least expensive, in my opinion, way to do things. So that's why I went carnivore. I actually wanted to be a PE teacher growing up, so I love that you were a PE teacher. Uh,
Nice.
just think it's so cool that that has come full circle for you, that you were able to get off all of those medications. Wow. And I love how active you are. To me, that is so encouraging, so amazing to hear someone who is how old, Miss Karen?
I'm 64. I'll be 65 in 2 months.
Wow, 64 years young, and you do not look 64, and you are moving and shaking. Like you're running up and down hills, you're riding bikes, you're kayaking, you're playing pickleball, you're doing all of the things that so many people at your age are kind of giving up because you feel so good. So can you talk a little bit more about the benefits that you saw from going carnivore?
The joints. That was amazing for me. Like I said, I didn't toss and turn. I don't toss and turn all night anymore because my shoulders, hips, and backs is hurting. That is amazing. That's my biggest number one. My knees would bother me. I'd be playing pickleball. I couldn't play pickleball 3 days in a row, or kayak 3 days in a row, because my elbows and shoulders were hurt. The other day, well, earlier last week, I should say, I kayaked 3 days in a row. Did anything hurt? No, no. I was so happy. I could play pickleball 3 days in a row now without having body aches and pains, and that's wonderful. That's a
Wow.
wonderful thing. So carnivores just helped me immensely. Mentally, I love this carnivore space. To be able to talk to somebody on, could be on YouTube and just tell my story is amazing. Did I ever do YouTube before? No. Just this whole life is great. Socially, okay. Socially, I like to do meetups, MEATUPS. And I love going to meetups, and I love hosting. I've hosted way more than I've gone to. Um, I've got the first one that started me into it was the carnivore doctor. It was during that C phase in life when everything was locked down. So I was going out to New Jersey, and I was only a 6-month carnivore at that time. And I hit her a message a couple months before. I said, "Hey, carnivore doctor, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, I know you live really close to where I grew up and where my brother lives. I was wondering if I could walk on the boardwalk with you." You know, she's always walking on the boardwalk. And she said, "Yeah, well, I don't know. Are you going to be here the week before?" I said, "No, my plane is booked. I live in Illinois. She's in New Jersey." And she said, "I'll just have another meetup," because she was going to have one the week before. So she had another meetup in the heart of that lockdown. And there were like 7 or 8 of us there. So I got to meet her. But the day before, I was playing pickleball, and I was really close to where she lives. And I knew about where she lived. And I sent her a message. She had given me a phone number because I was coming to this meetup. So I texted her. I said, "Hey, I was wondering if you wanted to walk. I'm all hot and sweaty from pickleball, but I was wondering if you want to walk on a boardwalk." I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear from her. So I went to the boardwalk area where she lives. I said, "Oh, that's where she lives," because she shows her condo. So I was walking on the boardwalk talking to my husband. He was in Illinois, talking to my husband on the phone. And I hung up with him. And I looked at my phone. She's like, "Yeah, I'd like to walk." Half an hour before she said that to me. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm still here." So she came out and met me. So she is the first carnivore that I met. And she took a picture. And I remember I screenshotted that to save that picture. So she was the first carnivore I met. I went to that meetup the next day with 7, like I said, 7 or 8 people. And it was so cool to be with like-minded people. How cool is that? So then the next year, she had a much bigger meetup. Kelly Hogan was there, Steak and Butter Gal was there, and a bunch of I told my carnivore friends, "I'm going." They're like, "Well, I want to go. I want to go." And a whole bunch of my friends went too. It was amazing. That was the carnivore doctor's first biggest meetup with like 75 people or 80 people. It was a lot.
Oh,
It was awesome.
wow.
So then I got the bug. I got the meetup bug. So I met 2 people from Illinois at that party at the meetup. So I said to them, "Oh, we should get together. You know, we're 2.5 hours away. We should meet halfway. We should meet." You know, we started talking after the meetup. We talked. So okay, let's get together in Peoria, Illinois, which is like hour and a half from me, maybe about that far from them. I don't know, maybe an hour. So yeah, let's do it. Then I said, "Why don't we invite other people?" Yes. It was amazing. I have it in my notes. I'm not sure how many people came. 28 maybe, something like that. I don't know. But it was amazing. Somebody came 325 miles from northern Wisconsin. People came from various states. It was amazing. I asked some companies for some gifts, and we had drawings. I have little gag prizes I give out. Like I say, okay, I do this at all my meetups. Who's been carnivore the least amount of time? And one of my buddies raised her hand that she came from this area. I said, "Congratulations. How long?" 2 weeks, I think she was. I gave her a roll of toilet paper because she's a new carnivore. So boom, she got toilet paper. So that was fun. I just really, I'm passionate about them. I've had that one in Peoria. I've had them in numerous in Chicago. I have a Chicagoland meetup in the summertime, and that's usually well attended. I have a little private one in Chicago around Christmas time where we all take trains in, and I just invite the locals. You know why I don't invite other people? Because I feel bad. I don't have an agenda. I don't give out any prizes or any gifts. It's just get together and have fun. Some of us take a train in. I'm 2.5 hours from there. Some people come from Milwaukee, further north of Milwaukee, hours. We travel hours on trains to get there. We just hang out. And I invite just the locals. Another reason I don't tell people is I don't have an agenda. Like when I have a meetup, I have an agenda. We hike, we do this, we pick them all the next day. We do all these things. We get together at night. We do all these things. But this is just, we go with the wind. However the wind blows, we'll go for coffee and then let the wind blow us. And and that's why I don't like put it out there, because some people at a meetup say, I could only come to pickleball, I could only come hiking, I could only come for lunch. And I don't want to have to give them exact time or place or where we're going to go. So that is, you blow with the wind, you want to join us, fine. You have to leave early, that's fine. But this is where we're going to meet. You can't meet us later because I don't know where we're going to be. So
I'm
that's
gonna have to
fun.
start calling you the meetup queen.
No, that I dubbed Carnivore Doctor the Meetup Queen. I told
Okay.
her that. I started that years ago. Some people call me the Meetup Princess.
Oh, okay. I can see that, second in line
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I've had a meetup in Beloit, Wisconsin. I had a really awesome meetup in Nevada. That Las Vegas, in Las Vegas.
Oh
Las
my
Vegas, me
gosh,
and my buddy
all
Vicky did that.
over.
It was cool. And Kelly came to that, decided at the last minute. And we had a surprise guest come to that too. That was the carnivore doctor, the meetup
Wow.
queen. She surprised us and came. So that was really amazing too. People flew in from all over the place and a bunch of locals. It was like, I'm passionate about this. There's one coming up later this month. I kind of have to look and see.
The
I'm going to
Rendezvous
plug it.
Roundup in
What
Wyoming.
the what? No, that Wyoming one's cool. We're Steak and Butter Gal's getting married. No,
Yeah.
she's getting married that weekend. Are you going to that?
I will be there.
Oh, fantastic. Where do you live?
I live in Texas, actually,
Oh, you're
Southeast
in Texas. Yeah,
Texas.
that's right. That's right. I'm having a meetup with Amanda Radke at a farm August 24th. It's going to be at a farm. There's going to be an auction with cattle, and there's going to be you could purchase meat through an auction. You get to take it home right there. And Amanda Radke, she's a rancher and public speaker out in South Dakota. Amazing lady. I did a meetup with her last year in LaSalle, Illinois. So it's fun if, people reach out and say, hey, she was going to travel in this area. She said, don't you live in Illinois? I said, I do. So now we kind of meet, you get together and do that kind of stuff.
That
So
is
I don't
so
know, hit me
cool.
up, Karen. I'm on Instagram at Karen.s.miles.3. That's where you can find me on Instagram. That's where I do my carnivore stuff. I don't tell people my Facebook. Facebook is more my family and that kind of stuff.
Totally
Grandkids.
get that.
Let's talk about those grandkids.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you before we talk about your grandkids.
Okay.
You you are married, obviously. Is your husband carnivore? And is your family carnivore? Did you have a hard time talking to them about it? Were they open? Were they receptive?
Good question. We'll be married 42 years in November. Yeah, 42 years. We have two amazing sons. The one son's got two stepchildren and one daughter, and the other son that lives closer to me, we get to see the grandkids a lot more. They have three daughters. They're amazing people. Their wives are great. Anyway, the kids are great. The grandkid gig, I just love it so much. Love it so much. So the grandkids, the local ones, I bought every bike they've had, starting with a tricycle and even what's it called? A Strider bike, a balance
Yes,
bike.
yes, yes.
Those are amazing. You
Yep,
got to get one. Um,
yes.
down the road. Actually, my granddaughter, that's 2.5, just got her first one. So I have
Oh,
to
have fun.
just got. I did not get it. They beat me to it. But I've given my grandkids all their bikes, the granddaughters that live over here, and it's fun. And my one granddaughter, Kit, who just turned 6, she just learned how to ride a two-wheeler because of me. The older one, Jane, learned how to ride a two-wheeler because of me and my husband. So it's a lot of fun to share that love with them. I'm probably going to get a text from my granddaughter, Kit, saying, "Do you want to go biking?" Because a lot of times we'll go in the mornings. So
I
that's pretty
love that
cool.
you get texts from your
Yeah.
granddaughter saying,
Yeah.
let's go bike riding. Like, how many grandparents can actually say that? I think that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. It's very, very special. And so when I was working with her, I like run along with her as she's pedaling. And I think that's pretty good that I can run along with her as she's pedaling because a lot of people would would
Exactly.
do
That's
that
what I'm
either.
saying. Like you have not only do you have the strength to do it and the stamina and the endurance to do it, you also have the energy to do it. And I think that's the missing key for a lot of people. After a certain age, they kind of just they stop working and then they stop feeling energetic and then they kind of get a little more sedentary perhaps. And I'm not saying
Yep.
that's true for everyone, but you kind of seem like an exception to the rule. I don't know if it's the PE background that's
Yeah.
playing into this here, but you're
And
amazing, Karen.
thanks. I'm not amazing. I'm just moving my body. I tell you, I have a lot of friends that like to move their body too. So I can make a phone call, send a text. Hey, you want to do this? My kayaking group, the Yak Yak sisters, we even have an offshoot where we do other things. Like yesterday, they were going to bike, but it got canceled because there's going to be storms in the area. We do parties. We dress up. We go to parties. We go to movies. Um, we just do other things. We snowshoe. It's we hike. We do other things. So I'm really glad I have a network to do that. Going back to my family, I've been doing this 4.5 years. My son did keto for a while and he felt good. And then he saw what I was doing. So he did carnivore for a while and he felt really good. He liked it. But then on the weekends, he would do keto, which, okay, like a ketovore, better than nothing. And then him and his family did low carb for a while. And that was good. It kind of tame the kids down a little bit, not as wild,
Wow. Yes.
sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just living life right now. They're just living life. So my boys always look at me like, okay, okay. They support me though. They'll make sure they have plenty of meat when I go over there, or I'll bring my own meat as well. So they really support me. My husband's been awesome on the journey. He's gone to a couple of the meetups with me, the local meetups, and he's wonderful like that. Has he been carnivore? No. So 3 weeks ago, some of my carnivore friends know this. I have not put this out to the world yet on Instagram. Like I do talk on Instagram quite a bit. I haven't put this out, and I did share this with you just right before we came on. But 3 weeks ago, my husband Jeff got diagnosed with cancer, and it's in the prostate, his spine, and his lymph nodes. So we're fighting that battle. So I was in New Jersey and I got a text from my niece. He didn't call me. He didn't call my sons. He called my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law, thank goodness, told my niece and said, "How are you and Uncle Jeff?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm still in New Jersey. Why? Is the weather bad in Illinois?" I checked the weather. The weather's fine. So, I'm still in Jersey. Everything's fine. Why? What's up? She said, "Uncle Jeff is in the hospital." I'm like, "What?" He really had excruciating pain. It's been bothering him this summer's back. Bad, bad, bad. It got so bad. This guy doesn't even go to the doctor. That's why he's in the mess he's in. So anyway, found out he's got cancer, stage 4, and a whole bit. So we're battling it. And today, this afternoon, we go to the oncologist. So any prayers are welcome. Any prayers are welcome. But guess what? We are getting ready to leave the hospital. He said, "Karen, I'm going to eat like you." I said, "Eat like me, like low carb?" Because, carnivore is, he said, "Nope, I'm going to eat carnivore." I'm like, "What?" He said, "I'm going to eat carnivore when I get out of here." So we did. We went to Mission Barbecue on our way home because it's now getting like 6 o'clock, by we're an hour away, and just let's eat now. And he had his first carnivore meal at Mission Barbecue. We had a friend came and picked us up, and another local friend, carnivore runner Mark, that is lives near the hospital, that picked me up at the airport and took me to the hospital at 1:30 in the morning. God bless him. Anyway, We invited those two guys to come join us, and he's been carnivore since. He had two little mess ups, but other than that, that was the first week. You know how, and one was the next day when his granddaughter brought him homemade that she made ice cream cake. He said, he looks at me like, what am I gonna do? And after they left, we talked about what to do.
Yeah.
That next day, that next day, the granddaughters were around, and I had a chat with the two oldest ones. I said, "Okay, girls, one's 8, one's 9, and one's 6." I said, "You know, Grandpa's just in the hospital." "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I said, "Grandpa can eat sugar. His glucose is high. His glucose is high." I didn't tell her, you know, glucose is high, but I'm telling you, glucose is high. His blood pressure is high now. So it's like, ah. So I said to the girls, if he eats that sugar, it's really, really bad for his body. We don't want his body. We don't want to go back to the hospital without any problems. So we're not having sugar in this house. So please don't bring it. So when they come visit, they know not to bring any sugar because you know everybody wants to bring treats. But we had a barbecue last weekend with 25-ish people, and people brought treats, and I'm okay with that because there's 25 other people. But if somebody comes to visit, they know don't bring a treat. Don't bring a treat. My one friend's like, I want to bring something. What can I bring? I said, nothing. We're good. So I said, okay, bring a 10-pack of frozen hamburger patties. How's that? How's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. What's
So
wrong
she
with that?
brought 8 hand patted baggies, but burger patties, and some steak. So that was
Oh,
sweet. But
that's even better. And I just want to say I'm so sorry that your husband has received this diagnosis, but nothing happens without God's permission. So I feel like there's a story of redemption coming.
there you go.
Have you guys looked much into Dr. Thomas Seyfried and his cancer studies and research on ketogenic
Oh,
diet or being in
oh,
ketosis and
oh,
cancer?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, he's taken Ben. Shoot, I knew that. Benfenzol. Why am I
Oh,
Benfenzol?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's called benfendazole.
Yeah, that thing. Gosh, I had to get it sometimes and I forgot. So yeah, he's doing that right now, and he's just a good sport. He's doing great. Some days are better than others, and it's tough some days. And he's out walking now after the meals to keep his blood glucose down. So he feels like he's lost a lot of muscle this past 6 months, especially. So we have 2-pound dumbbells. He's doing some stuff with that. I have him, even if it's super hot out, I have him walking in the house.
Good. Is he noticing a reduction in his pain at all since going carnivore a few weeks
Oh,
ago?
well, the steroids have helped with the reduction, but I think that's going to stop.
So you mentioned that your husband is currently carnivore. Your son has tried it before. What about your other son? Is he open to carnivore?
No, but he's watching what he eats. He's not snacking now, not drinking soda. So that's good. I'm really happy about that. Really happy. I've had one time I had 8 relatives doing carnivore, 8 relatives.
Wow.
Yep. And now some of them are just meat based and a couple of them are still doing it. So that's really, really good. And they found success. But, a lot of people have a hard time just doing this carnivore gig. And I'm so proud of my husband. Like a lot of times newbies want to, I think newbies should just eat meat, not do recipes. I had a niece that she did all these recipes. I'm like, just eat meat. Don't get too fancy and creative. But my husband, he's had some of my creative recipes. So I'm giving them to him. Like I made Chris cooking Nashville's mac and cheese like months ago, and he really liked it. So I made for him the other day, and he like that. And I made some cheesy, like almost like inside of a calzone, if you know Italian, like this dish last night. And he had pork rinds for the first time yesterday. The past it wasn't but he ate some yesterday. And but meat is the number one. So I don't want him to lose weight. He's not doing this to lose weight, and he's already lost, I think, 20 pounds now since January 1st. And and now it's July, so August. So I don't really want him to lose any more weight. It's like 156, and he probably maybe could still lose some on his belly, but I just he's cancer
You
patients.
want him to
They need,
maintain his muscle mass, his strength.
yeah, and he doesn't
Yeah.
have much muscle right now. So
Yeah.
I want him to do that. So when we were walking in the house, it was really hot yesterday. We have one step down to our den. I say, go down that step. Let's take a lap and go down that step. Let's go down that step. So in the wintertime, when I get up, anytime when I get up in the morning, I'll do 1,000 steps before I do anything else. In the wintertime, I'll walk in the house and do those 1,000 steps. Now in the summertime, I walk. I come
Oh
home
yeah,
sometimes about
definitely.
5,000.
That
Yeah, about five
outside's the
thousand
best.
steps. I go to
Yeah.
watch the sunrise and I come home and now I'm at 5,000 or. So that's fun. But if it was hot last night, I don't want to go out. It's humid. It was like 98 at, the real feel after dinner. So we just walked in there. So I don't know. I'm just supporting him and he's being really good. And so the relatives, if they're meat heavy, I'm great with that. My brothers know all about it. They shake their head, roll their eyes. They're both on high cholesterol meds. They're both in great shape. But the doctor says your cholesterol's over 200, you better take meds. I don't do that. I don't do that. My triglycerides are low. That's what I like. My blood glucose, I took it this morning. It was 89. I did my ketones. I don't check that every day. My ketones were zero point 0.7 or zero point 0.8, one of those two. I'm happy with that. Usually it's around five-ish. I'm like, all right. So go for
Usually
it.
they're around 5.0 or zero point 0.5.
Zero point 0.5. I've
I
never
was
seen
like,
five.
wow, what
No,
is your
no,
secret?
no. When I jumped on that train and did the higher fat and the lower protein, I never got it more than like 2.5. I can't, my body doesn't do that, produce ketones like that. And I think sometimes you do them too high, you're just peeing them out, you know. I hardly ever use the word pee, but I
I
just
actually
did.
wanted to ask you, so you mentioned you were tracking your ketones and your glucose. So obviously that calculates a GKI, glucose ketone index, which is something that Dr. Seafried focuses on, especially for helping cancer patients. Are there any other metrics that you've tracked? Do you find it helpful to track? Do you think it's necessary to track?
I would love to say it's not necessary to track, but I do track. I do track my calories and I try to keep them whatever. But some days I might play pickleball, go for a bike ride, and walk 15,000 steps. I need more calories than my TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, tells me I need. So
Yes.
I don't mind. And I have a range. I don't say 1,612. I don't do that. I don't do that. I have a range of a couple hundred. And if I'm in there, I'm fine. If I'm over there, I'm okay with it. I was over yesterday. Body, the scale still dropped. I do weigh every day. I track it on a spreadsheet. And actually, Kelly Hogan uses that with her group members now because she liked what I was doing. And I write notes and, I added other things to it. And it's kind of fun to keep track. And I could see what's going on, what works better for me.
I think
So,
sometimes it's really helpful to track the metrics because uh, if you are just starting out and you kind of want to know if your body is fat adapted or if it's even in ketosis, I kind of think it's helpful to track those metrics. I I had a really hard time when I started carnivore. My husband wanted to go straight lion, and I tried so hard to do lion, so hard, but I was a week out from my period, which is never a good time to start anything. And so for me, I realized like I really needed to lean heavily on variety and dairy. So I think it was interesting that you were mentioning about making like the carnivore mac and cheese because that was something that I made when I started. But I super relied on dairy, like really heavy on dairy, just to keep my appetite open. It did cause me some initial weight gain. Not that that was a bad thing because I needed to gain weight in order to get pregnant. But did you experience any weight gain initially on carnivore, or did you
no,
just your body just start dropping?
I did not initially. It was a slow. I had my non-scale victories that I loved. It's not like I lost a whole ton on this, but I feel like I'm stronger and my body's better. I have lost, but I've gained. I gained 18, 19 pounds over the last couple of years. So I'm working to take that off. And I now have 7 more to take that off. And then I'll be back to where I was a couple of years ago. So yeah. So I gained because I ate whatever I wanted and how many calories. So now when I'm doing this, I definitely got it in check. So the month of July, I was on vacation for over 2 weeks. I came home, flew home earlier to be with Jeff, of course, for this news. And I still lost 2 pounds in the month of July. And I was really excited about that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no kidding.
with all
I,
that stress.
I'm curious, have you, so obviously there are different variations of carnivore. There's like, some people call it dirty carnivore where you have like processed meats and stuff like that. Then there's like carnivore and then there's strict carnivore and then there's lion. Have you ever done lion diet? Or have you only done
I've
strict
always just
carnivore?
done, I've just done carnivore. I've never done lion. I don't feel like I have autoimmune diseases I need to cure. I'd still like to lose some weight. People are like, you look fine, but all those women know you just want to lose a little weight,
Yeah.
get rid of
Yeah.
some.
And where do you feel your best is the question.
Right, right. Oh, I feel good, really good now. I really do. But I know I could feel better. I could feel better. I always had big legs, and I've always said my legs are so big. But my legs, I played sports all the time in school, high school, field hockey, basketball, track, softball. I got a full scholarship to college, 1,000 miles away to Western Illinois University from New Jersey. I played field hockey 4 years. I did all the intramurals. I still had big legs. I still have big legs. I mean, it's a lot of muscle, but now there's a lot, some flab I want to get rid of there. So, I always want a little more. And I gotta get excited about something. My college field hockey team, my sophomore year college field hockey team, we're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for Western Illinois University. So I'm excited, and
Wow.
God willing, planning on going there for the weekend, and we'll see how Jeff's doing and what's going on. But there's people I have not seen since I graduated from college, so I really want to go, even if I go just for the day or for one night, or not the whole weekend. I
A
definitely want to
different
see.
kind of meetup.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Yep.
People are going to be
So
curious. They're going to want to know what you're doing. They're going to want to ask you questions.
yeah,
Are you going to
yeah.
share with
Well,
them?
oh yeah. Well, people back then knew me. I was, like I was thin. I was probably like this when I knew them. But some of them have now seen my Facebook because we're friends on Facebook, and they're like, "Wow, Karen, you look good. What are you doing? Or what's this carnivore about?" Yeah, people reach out and ask me like a lot because I'll put some of my stuff on my Facebook, and it's
Yeah.
uh it's fun. And
Oh,
some
I
people
love it.
still do it. And yeah, some people don't tell me they do it, and they're like, "Hey, Karen, I've been doing it a month, watching you and listening to you." I'm like, cool,
Isn't that
cool.
so encouraging? I just got a message from a friend a couple of weeks ago who told me that she and her husband went carnivore 4 months ago. And I was like, I had no idea. And I said, what are some of the benefits that you've experienced? And she said, previous to carnivore, she wasn't able to sleep. She had some weight that she wanted to lose. She had this like chronic tendonitis. And now all of that has resolved. She said she's sleeping like a baby. She has no more chronic pain and she's lost 25 pounds. I'm like, oh my goodness, that
That's
is
awesome.
incredible. It just, those types of messages just
Yeah.
fill me with encouragement. And the Lord always knows exactly what we need and when we need that word of
That's
encouragement.
right.
And I just feel like God's like,
There
gotcha.
you go, Wink. A local mayor in one of the small towns is now a carnivore, and I saw him at a fair in his community. I'm like, "Oh, you look awesome! Look at you!" Yeah,
So cool.
yeah, yeah.
My husband and I heard that there's a church in our area that the pastor is carnivore, not full carnivore all the time. Like, he allows himself a bit of grace with that because he's a family man. But I just thought that was so cool. I was like, shepherding a church and you're a
There you
carnivore?
go.
What?
There you go. My
Yeah.
nephew came to town from Washington, D.C., and we had him over a few meals, and he's a carnivore. So he got to enjoy all the meats here.
Oh, wow.
So Jeff and I are going to the doctor today. We have an oncologist, we have a counseling session, and he's getting a treatment. So this is the first time we're doing this treatment. So we're a little concerned about this. So we're bringing some dehydrated meat and bringing a box of pre-cooked bacon. I could bring some eggs if you want, but I think that's fine. but I want him to feel like he could have something if he needs to. So he loves dehydrated meat. I have a dehydrator that I got as a retirement gift from this lady. Kelly gave me a
Yes.
dehydrator. My buddy Audrey gave me a meat slicer for a retirement gift. I said, a card would have been great. Are you kidding me? I just got loved on it. It was really cool. And Jackie gave me this uh, water seltzer thing. I'm like, who does all this stuff? It's
Like a
crazy.
soda stream.
Yeah, SodaStream. I just got someone. I'm like, who does this? Jackie flew out and surprised me and came to help me celebrate. Some other friends, my friend Kathy from Wisconsin, Fly Lady Trisha from Indiana, Kelly Meyer, they all came and surprised me for a weekend. It was so awesome.
Wow.
They got my local friends in the cahoots with it. Carolyn and Cheryl, and they helped arrange, and Dawn, they helped arrange my friends to surprise me for the weekend. It was that just this community is where it's at. I love it. I love it. I want to go to
Absolutely.
so I was going to
Absolutely.
go to the Carnivore Doctors meetup in September, but I'm canceling that trip. I'm canceling that trip to Jersey. Um, but then Audra's having one later on, September 21st, maybe or 28th in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to look to get this. So Audra, Private Eye on Instagram, is having a meet up September 21st in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's going to be a really cool meetup. I'm telling you right now. And Carnivore Doctors is September 7th in New Jersey. I am passionate about it. I like to spread the news. There's one coming up in Kansas City in a couple of weeks. I don't know if this video will be out, but hit me up if you ever want anybody that's watching, if you want any information about meetups. I kind of know about some. I like to share them.
I love it. And Miss Karen, as we draw to a close on our time together, if someone is considering a carnivore lifestyle, what advice would you give to them? How would you encourage them, and where should they start?
Start by eating the meat you could afford and you could easily get. Right now, I have a leg of lamb in my crock pot that I got from a local farm, which is cool. When I go to the grocery store and buy a leg of lamb, not necessarily, but I get a nice gig I have worked out with these people. I bring my cooler and I buy a bunch of meat, give some money, and off I go. It's fun. I like to try unique meats, but you everyday people, like I said, Jeff's new at this. The first meal I made for him was at the house was a porterhouse steak. Who doesn't like that? We love ribeyes. I need to get a ribeye out for maybe tomorrow because he loves ribeyes. So he doesn't have much of an appetite, but if I give him something like that, he'll have more of an appetite. So I like a variety. When I was new, I liked two things, sometimes three things on my plate. So a fried egg is always a great side dish, or scrambled egg is always a great side dish. Some cheese at the beginning, later on you might want to wean that cheese out of your system. So if for dessert, Jeff might have a piece of dehydrated meat for dessert, or a piece of cheese for dessert. Or for me, if I want a little more, I'll have a fried egg or hard-boiled egg. Medium boiled egg. I like medium boiled egg for dessert. So you go somewhere, bring some food with you. I'll bring a hamburger. I like to kayak. I bring a cooler with water. Sometimes I'll just have a bag and I'll put a hamburger in there or some dehydrated meat and eat my dehydrated meat as I'm going down the water, or my cheeseburger going down the water, kayaking. So always be prepared, have the food. Get out, do some movement, even if it's 10 minutes every time you eat or once a day, get out and move your body. I really feel strongly on that. Even if it's canned corn that you're not going to eat anymore, lift do some movements, do some body movements on the ground, get up and down off the ground a few times. If you're an older person, do push up, or anybody, do push-ups off your kitchen counter, do squats, hold on, do some kind of movement, and find some friends, reach out to people. There's so many people out here that, send somebody an Instagram message. It could be a big time carnivore. You might not hear back from them. It could be a littler one like me. Hit me up. I'll answer stuff, got questions, but find a community. That's where it's at.
Amazing. Miss Karen, you are one of the most vivacious and energetic people I have had the pleasure of interviewing, and I'm so
Thank
glad that we
you.
connected. You really are the meetup princess. One of these days, I'm going to have to make that long drive up there and come
There
to
you
one of
go.
these meetups. Hopefully, we'll
There
end
you
up
go.
crossing paths at one of our
There you
meetups.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
that
maybe.
would be amazing. I would love to squeeze you.
Some people also said if I wasn't Karen Miles on Instagram, I just did that. Whatever, that I'd be the carnivore cheerleader because I cheer on a lot of
I
people
could
along
see
the way.
that for sure.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Well, Miss Karen, I know you've already shared it, but I'm going to invite you to share again. Could you please share if someone wants to reach out with you to connect with you, how can they get in touch with you? Best places to
Okay.
find you.
Okay. I'm on Instagram quite a bit on Karen with a K, Karen dot my maiden name, dot Miles dot 3 on Instagram, and on YouTube. Me and my friend Jackie Jam have a small YouTube channel, but we have some cool recipes and we have fun on there, and that's called Carnivore Twins. So you'll link those in the description box, and I appreciate that ahead of
Yeah.
time. Like, subscribe, comment. We got to get some more videos out, but yep, all the things.
Yes. And if you guys have not checked out Karen's Instagram, it is so full of cool recipes and all the things that she is doing. Karen is one of the neatest people I have ever seen on Carnivore.
Oh,
And 4.5 years in, I'm
mhm.
like just coming on 2 years. I'm behind you, Karen, but
Okay,
not
good for
beside you
you.
yet. I'll get there
Good
one
for you.
day.
That's
But
right.
you are such an
Thanks.
inspiration and an encouragement to me and to so many others. And I just want to thank you so much for being a part of this.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me on your channel.
Thank you all so much for tuning into this very energetic episode with Miss Karen Miles. I will drop all of her contact information in the description box below where you can connect with her, maybe even go to a meetup with her. Karen is a connector. She is so wonderful, so loving, so kind, and very, very thoughtful. I hope you guys give her a follow. As always, drop me a comment. Let me know where you are signing on from. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the little notification bell so you can be notified each time I upload a new episode. This is Rochelle, the Real Life Carnivore, signing out. Bye for now.